side with tonight's cover story. Superheroes taking over the streets of Charlotte. We're talking Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man. They're here for the 41st Annual Heroes Convention. Believe it or not, comics are a big business these days, boosted in part by all those blockbuster superhero movies. Anchor John Carter joins us here live in studio with more on the state of comic books here in the Charlotte area. And John, a big change in the industry too.
Yeah, a really big change. We're going to talk about that in just a moment.
Okay.
But right now, I want you to come over to your television screens and take a look at this. This is a comic book. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 26, and it just came out 2 weeks ago. This is quite possibly the hottest comic book going right now. This issue completes a story arc, and a major character dies at the end.
No spoilers.
Spider-Man? No spoilers.
Okay.
But you know that. Now, you may be able to get a copy at this week's Heroes Convention. You won't be alone if you do. Thousands of fans are going to be on hand at what many consider the premier comic book convention in the nation. Heroes aren't hard to find on Pecan Avenue in Charlotte. It's one of the oldest and most popular comic book shops in the Southeast. And owner Shelton Drum is the mastermind behind the upcoming Heroes Convention, an idea he first came up with in 1982.
And I wanted to do a multi-day show and bring in some more guests that I wanted to meet, and I felt like my customers would like to meet. And so that's how in '82 I did that, just really to promote the store and kind of a thank you to the fans. And then it doubled, and then it doubled, and then it doubled until we got up to 10, 15,000. Went to the Charlotte Convention Center in '95 when the new one opened.
This year, the Heroes Convention will take up an entire floor of the Charlotte Convention Center. Literally millions of comics will be available. Fans will get to meet the top artists, writers, and publishers in the industry, as well as other guests. And there'll be plenty of comic book related paraphernalia for sale as well.
It's the mainstream. We used to be that niche, we were, I don't want to say we were all the weird, nerdy guys.
Yeah.
I don't really like to refer to us as that, or geeks even. But yeah, it was a small group really who were interested in the comic books. Mostly at that time it was superheroes. Over the years, comics have grown up, and there are comics about anything you can think of. Comics that win all kinds of literary awards and prizes and stuff, and they're made into movies and TV series, and so there's a lot to choose from now. That's what we've always wished for.
And while Shelton Drum has been in the business for decades, Colton Sykes has only been in the business for 3 years. He's the owner of Sailfish Comics in Concord, and he'll be at the convention.
To me, I think it's a great way for the fans of the industry to meet the creators. Like Heroes does a great job of getting like top tier talent that work on these books to come and do signings for fans and for them to talk to them and meet them. And I think that's wonderful, not only from a fan getting to meet them, but from us, we get to sell more of those books that the artists and creators worked on. So it's it just works well, it gels.
The price of comic books has certainly changed a lot over the years. Back in the day when I first started collecting, this Amazing Spider-Man number 42 sold for 12 cents. Well, here's the latest issue of the Amazing Spider-Man, some 900 issues later. Today it sells for $3.99. Are comics a good investment? After all, Action Comics number 1, which featured the debut of Superman, sold for 10 cents in 1938. A mint issue recently sold for $3.4 million.
I always tell people to never really invest in comics just because you don't know what's going to be valuable down the line. It's really hard to say. I always tell people collect what you like. And if it happens to be worth money down the road, that's awesome.
Comic books are great fun, but they're also a business, a multi-million-dollar business that underwent a huge shakeup last month. For years, comics were distributed to local stores through a single company, and new issues always came out on Wednesdays. But now publishers are going to multiple distributors, releasing new comics on different days.
But yeah, that is definitely a shakeup. It might confuse some customers at first, but I think having people come in on 2 different release days is healthy for a store, because most people come in here once a week, so that's 4 times a month.
Despite the shakeup, Shelton Drum believes the state of comic books will remain strong across the country and here in Charlotte.
Well, 5, 10, or 20 years ago, when digital was coming on, everybody thought, well, paper was going to be gone by this time. It's not, and I don't think it'll ever go away. I mean, there's going to be no value in having a file of a comic book, I don't think. NFTs didn't get talked about very long. Maybe they're still out there and going to work, but I think paper's going to survive.
And if you are looking for comics like Amazing Spider-Man number 26, Charlotte has a generous supply with more than half a dozen comic book shops in this area here. You should check them out. Meanwhile, the 41st Heroes Convention got underway tomorrow at the Charlotte Convention Center. It runs through Sunday. And this just happens to coincide with the release of the new Flash movie, which also comes out tomorrow. And that's sure to get folks in the comic book spirit. And by the way, tickets are still available for the convention. We've got a link on our website, WBTV.
What is up, folks? I figured I'd share that video. I actually found it today, so figured I would share that little history on Heroes Con and comic book collecting. Thought it was pretty interesting. So, 2 live streams in a day. We've got Breakfast with Brian tomorrow. I mean, I'm all over the place. But Lucretius, I hope somebody comes and joins me too, because I don't want to do this alone. Lucretius, what is up? Larry, what is going on? Good to see you. Bunch of people hanging out. John, hope you are well. Marcus, Caroline, Lady Fantastic. K-pop was just streaming. She just was doing her artist series. Was catching a little bit of that before. That was pretty good. Madam is here. Oh, just another my second live stream of the day. I figured since most of the regular shows were not happening this weekend, it was a good time to do some extra streaming on my end. So yeah, I've got a little Comic-Con. It's a hotel, like a hotel show this Sunday, Father's Day. So I'm actually going to hit that for a little bit this weekend. Check that one out. I'm hoping to go to Heroes Con next year. I actually was planning to go to this one, but didn't make it. Derrz, yeah, I was just catching up on Instagram, and just so many photos of everybody. Derrz and Legion, Mark, they look like they were in a loving embrace on Instagram. So lots of pictures going on there. Joe, Anachronic Comics. Joe, let's hope. I know this morning I shouted you out, and you were at 999 subs, and we had Manny the Hobgoblin Collector sub you up to hit 1,000. So hopefully that's stuck and you're beyond 1,000. So congrats to you. Kenneth is here. What is up, Kenneth? Bearded. What is going on? I know. I wish, but there's plenty more coming up. It seems like there's a lot more, smaller shows popping up too. A lot of these, that I remember from growing up. Hey, look, and there he is, Joe.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I heard you mention my name.
Congrats on 1K.
Yeah, Gary was instrumental. He kept on mentioning me like I was like his godfather or something like that, So you did too. A number of people did help out. I thought that was really nice of everybody to chip in and get me kind of over the hump there. Very nice. Yeah,
that's good. Thanks, congrats. Hopefully it sticks, because sometimes YouTube giveth.
It went down to $9.99. It went down to $9.99 this morning, but then it went up to 1,002. Okay. So I got a 2 buffer.
You got a little bit of a buffer. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I know. When we did I did a live stream earlier today, and we shouted you out. And like I said, Manny the Hobgoblin Collector hit you were at $9.99, and so he made it 1,000. So
that's good.
That was good to see. Yeah,
that's good. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. It's kind of nice. It's a nice little thing,
Yeah, it's good to hit that milestone.
Yeah, it is good. It's good. So what's this all about? Not going to Heroes Con? Is that it?
Yeah, I figured, everybody else is hanging out at Heroes Con, and but I think they have a big dinner tonight. I think Rob Fat Stacks organized like a meet and greet, so everybody's there. So I figured, well, nobody else is. DJ usually does his Friday night stream, and he wasn't doing that this week, so I figured, I'll just jump in and
well,
have
last
a
year
hangout.
a few of us saw each other at the New York Comic Con, so maybe this year we should do something similar.
Yeah, well, and you've got. I mean, we've got. You've got. I'm drawing a blank. The one in Connecticut. Well, what's the con in Connecticut? I'm drawing.
The one that's up in
Mohegan Sun.
Oh, Mohegan Sun, right? Yeah.
Why am I drawing a blank on the name?
Yeah,
but there's
hold on
that
a
one's
second.
coming up at the end of July, and then you have.
There's a couple of them in Connecticut.
Terrificon, that's it.
Terrificon, right? That's a big one.
That's in
There's
Connecticut.
a smaller one also in Springfield in July.
And I think
and
somebody mentioned New Jersey, Garden State.
Garden State,
yeah, there's a Garden State convention, I think, next week.
Is it next week?
And then you've got, obviously the big one, New York Comic Con in October. So,
yeah, last year I went I think 3 days, but this year I think I'm only going to go on a Thursday.
Yeah, earlier in the week's better. It's less crowded.
Yeah,
I know. I only went
Friday
Thursday.
Friday was a mess. Saturday was lunatic, and I only lasted a few hours on Saturday. I was exhausted from the other day.
Oh yeah, from the other 2 days, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a little different this year. We'll just go there on Thursday, make a big day out of it. If you or somebody else is there, we should get together, go to dinner, do something like that. I think. It'd be cool.
I don't think I'm going to make it this year because we're planning on moving. So we're heading south. We're moving to South Carolina.
You are terrific.
Yeah. So probably by the end of the summer I'll be no longer a New Yorker. So,
well, you know what? I think that. Let me hold on a second. I had you running on something else. I was hearing like feedback. Yeah, that's kind of funny about that because I've been down to Florida. Let me shut the door for a second. I'll be right back.
Sure. The Nerdy Wedge, Too Tasty, Fanboy Prime.
And my wife says I talk too loud, so I wanted to shut the door.
Don't disturb her.
Yeah. Now, so we go down to Florida, and so we had a house in Cape Cod as well. So now our house in Cape Cod is being expanded a bit.
Okay.
And it's going to take about a year to get done. But at that time, we're going to basically sell New York as well. I'm going to split our time between Florida and Cape Cod, Massachusetts.
Nice. So, that's good. That's two good locations.
Yeah, so that's coming up pretty quickly. We already got our Florida driver's licenses. We're slowly but surely making some changes with respect to that. So
right.
So the big question is, where am I going to keep my comic books?
That's right. Yeah, having split.
I bring them along with me every place I go. So. But I think Cape Cod, maybe I'm going to make a nice comic book room. That was part of the architect. I said I want this room.
Oh, nice.
And all of that. So I think that'll probably be the place where they'll stay.
But I'm sure you'll probably have a few down in Florida too with you.
Well, I usually bring some, and usually acquire a few while I'm down there. So a few like that. So anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, we have family. My wife's sister-in-law and her family have lived in South Carolina since college. She met her husband in college, and he was from South Carolina, so they ended up moving there. And then 2 years ago, my in-laws moved from California to South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, I never expected that they would move out of California. They have always lived in California. My wife's from California, so I was surprised when they said we're talking about moving, and then they pulled the trigger and moved cross country. So
financially it makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah. They real estate at the height of the market for them in California, and then they were able to sell very quickly and buy something very, very nice in South Carolina. So
yeah, we like South Carolina. We've stopped there a few times, like Charleston, and a few other places like that on the way up and down. We usually drive, and South Carolina's a nice state. We've had a good time down there. Weather's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's Lexington, bearded. It's near Columbia, near the capital. So
Oh, see the
inland a
capital.
little bit, but we're right. My in-laws live right on a lake, Lake Murray, a big lake down there. So
I actually know where that is. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I had
so
some cases down in South Carolina in Columbia actually, and then went on a little tour. Every time I went somewhere, I tried to spend a day or two looking around and seeing, what's this like? And thinking
okay.
maybe I'll move here sometime or something like that. So
Well, like I said, Cape Cod, and you're on the west coast of Florida, right? So
yeah,
those are two nice spots.
yeah, it's really we have a great time down there. A lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on. The weather's great. Even when it gets a little warmer, like in May, it's not really that bad. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think you get used to it, right? You would kind of adjust to it. My parents moved to Florida when they retired, and that was it. They were like, "We're going to Florida," and they didn't keep their house here in New York. But I remember going visiting them, and it's 85 degrees out, and they still have they when it's 60, it's like cold.
It's well, we go down there. We've been going down there in January, though. Obviously, when we finally make the switch, like in about a year and a half, whatever, we'll be going down there earlier. But the funny thing about it is, so my daughter was saying, "What do you want for Father's Day?" Happy Father's Day to everybody coming up, right,
Yes,
on Sunday.
yeah,
And so I said, "Well, you know what? When I go down to Florida, we usually go down very early in January." And I said, it's chilly down there, and I just have like flip flops. So I wanted to get a pair of like indoor moccasins or something, to keep my feet warm. And she says, "What are you talking about? You're down in Florida." I said, "No, it's like, 58, 60 degrees down there sometimes. And, in the evening, especially. And in the condo, it's, my feet are cold." So they were all laughing at me. I was
yeah.
right to my son because it went down to like 68 one day in February, and I get up in the morning and I said, "Yeah, it's really chilly this morning going to the gym." He goes, "Yeah." And he lives up like north of Albany, like Saratoga Springs, right?
Oh wow, okay, yeah, yeah. So
But this
he,
is like January. I said, "Yeah, it was like 68." And he's saying to me, "Dad, it's like 5 degrees outside."
right,
I said,
yeah.
"Yeah, but I'm not there. I'm here."
Yeah, I mean, when it's 85 every day, yeah, 60, 50 something feels
You
cold. Yeah.
feel it. You feel the cold. It's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway,
That's
but
funny.
but congratulations, guy. That's great. When's the move
Yeah.
supposed to be? You said this summer?
Yeah, end of the summer. We're going to put the house up for sale near mid July, and so
Mhm.
depending on how long it takes to sell and
Yeah, yeah.
close and all that, so probably Sep- September. Want to get the house sold before, depending on who buys it too. You would think if it's a younger family, they would want to get settled before
For
school
the
starts in
for the check.
September.
Yeah,
So
right. For school
so
and all
that's
that. Yeah.
yeah, that's the goal right now. So
Yeah, and hopefully that'll work out well, and I mean, we're kind of looking at some of the same thing. They're estimating that the renovation will be done probably around February or so. But I know
okay.
the way these things go. I figured it's going to stretch out a little bit longer.
Yeah, they usually
Um,
never finish
yeah,
exactly on time.
yeah. Plus now, there's a lot of things. Hopefully, you're not building a house because there's a lot of issues with respect to supplies and even workers and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of issues with that. But anyway, so if does happen, I'm hoping we can put stuff together. I told my wife, tag what it is you want here. So she says, "What are you gonna do with your comics?" I said, "I'm renting a van. I'm putting them in a van, tying them down." I said, "Nobody's touching them, and I'm gonna bring them there myself. Hopefully that room will be ready. It's gonna be air conditioned, dehumidifier type of stuff in there."
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
I said, "I know it's going to be tough." I said, "But I'm going to put them on. I'm going to put them on something and just bring them down there myself." I said, "So that's me. Don't worry about that. I got the car. I'm going to rent the van. I'm going to do all that myself." So you just got to put stuff on what you want to move, you know. And we'll probably have like some sort of estate sale or something to see if somebody wants some of the stuff to leave behind.
Right,
But
right,
otherwise, we'll call up, whatever, Salvation Army, Goodwill, people like that, and we'll just give everything away.
right.
Because we have a lot of furniture in Cape Cod already because we've had places down there for the last 15, 20 years. And obviously we don't need anything in Florida either. So, so that's kind of the way to do it. But hopefully by next fall, Yeah.
just
I mean,
between the
hopefully
two
we'll get
places. Yeah,
something
yeah.
done. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you're,
we're in the same mode right now. Like we've been, getting rid of stuff, just going through stuff, getting rid of stuff, because you accumulate. We've been in in our current house
no.
25 years, so there's a lot of stuff.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. But anyway, so you're gonna have a comic room down there. Or you're gonna still do stuff from
Yeah,
Derrz?
no, we have I'm gonna have a dedicated space. So
Great.
so looking forward to it. So, well,
That'd be really cool.
we're building a new house in South Carolina.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think things. I mean, I remember when one of my offices moved down to North Carolina. I spoke to this one guy who lived in New Jersey, had a really nice house there, and he told me, he says, Joe, he says, the house down here cost me the same amount as what I got from my house in New Jersey, but everything is about 3 levels higher in quality.
yeah.
So in other words, he's telling me it costs a little less, but he just, he upgraded everything that what he had in New Jersey. So
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's
I
still
mean,
the same.
we're buying a brand new house for less than, what our house is worth here.
Yeah.
And our house was built in like 65.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
it's so yeah, no, we're excited. I'm excited.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
So it'd be nice for my wife, to be close to her family. She's been away from them for a while, 25 years. So
Wow.
yeah.
So she followed you?
Yeah. She moved from
Wow.
California to New York to be with me. Yep.
That's because you're some catch, you know that?
Yeah. She knew she knew it was going to be some big YouTube star someday. So she latched on early.
There you go. See how she could see the vision of the future. This guy's going to be a big YouTube guy. He's going to start the Comic Book Community Awards.
That's right.
He's going to be the granddaddy of this whole thing. And pretty soon he's going to have to monetize the awards, and that's when they're all going to become super rich.
Yeah. It's a long-term plan, but
So let's talk about the community awards for a bit here.
Sure.
So right now it's kind of like a little bit of a dead time. So what do you do during this time with the Comic Book Community Awards?
Just really continue to try to promote it and just spread the word. It's kind of we're a little bit less than halfway through the nomination period, so
Right.
It's really just hoping to continue to spread the word and look at kind of spot check the nominations every couple of days, make sure everything's coming in as expected, and that's really it at this point. Just
do you accumulate the numbers too as you go along, or you
no?
wait
I wait to
end?
the end. I kind of just spot check them
Mm-hmm.
and just see what you see some of the changes as new votes come in.
Mm-hmm.
You see some of the different channels that are being nominated. So, but I wait to the end to tally everything up. But I will spot check because sometimes there's channels that get nominated that I'm not familiar with. So
Right.
I may go subscribe them and go check out the channel, see what type of channel it is if I'm not familiar with it. But yeah, it's really just trying to be active, promoting it. But the community has really helped out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when I pop in a chat or somebody will mention it, a lot of people have been doing shout outs, a lot of people doing their nominations live. Naman, the comic bookworm, he's been doing Naman Nominates. He's been doing some videos showing the different categories and some of the channels he's been nominating. So
That's cool.
So
yeah, we've had it on one of my live streams, but I have a couple of live streams coming up. Week from today, we have the comic book crowd again. So we'll mention something about it at the beginning. Then we're going to have a live espresso mail call the next week. So we'll try to, if I remember, because I'm old now and I forget things, but if I remember, we'll mention it both times.
All right, good. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but,
you do the comic book crowd's last Friday of the month, right?
Yes, except this time I have 2 executive producers. Matt Woods is one of them. So I throw stuff by their ways. Okay. And I said, look, the 30th is 4th of July weekend.
Oh, right.
I said, so do you want to do it on that day? Is that okay with you 2 guys, or should we move it up? So they both voted to move it up to the 23rd, I believe. So it's going to be a week from today.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the last Friday of the month. But you're right. It usually is the last Friday of the month. Matt Woods,
Matt Woods and Dave, right? Dave Bratton is the other.
No, actually, another guy named Alan is the other executive producer.
Oh, Alan. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dave has been showing up a lot on my channel lately. We
Yeah.
just did a thing on the $1 billion movies, and so he's come up with this idea of having like a trilogy of shows about movies. So he's already come. Here's what the second one's going to be, Joe. I said, okay, we could do that. It's great having guys that want to participate because, they come up with ideas. For the comic book crowd, I have a bunch of people that kind of rotate around. But basically, what I've told anybody is, let me know if you are interested in a particular topic, and if you are, just send me a note on Instagram and say, hey, how about this topic? Are you guys interested in doing this topic? And then I go to my executive producers, to Alan and Matt, and I say, hey, Brian suggested this topic. And then they say, yeah, this is great. So say, okay, Brian, we're going to do it. You're on.
Oh, that's good.
And then I have an Instagram group, and whenever somebody gets on, I put them in that group.
Right. All right. That's good.
Because we always add a couple of guys to the three of us, because we had a few people drop off, right? So I always try to get at least 2 more guys or gals to come on. But basically, it's open to anybody. If you have an idea, you just, IM me on Instagram. Let me know what the idea is. And if we like it, you're on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Do you guys have a topic for the upcoming show?
Yes, it was suggested by Gary B., who will be one of the additional people on the show because he suggested it. So
anything to do with Conan?
No. Well, you don't know because it's a general topic. It basically has to do with people that we believe are really great writers or artists, but that are underappreciated.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
I haven't come up with the title yet, but that's kind of what it's about. We'll be posting the title and the thumbnail probably in the next day or two.
Okay.
So that's good. He came up with that. Have you ever done this? Because sometimes some people actually give me something that a title that we've done or something similar. I said, we did that in episode 3. Haven't you been watching it?
Yeah. Didn't you know that? So what did you saw The Flash, right? I think you went yesterday?
I did. I saw it as on a preview on the 15th, the first showing at the AMC Theater in Danbury at 3 p.m. And it was about, for a 3 p.m. show on a Thursday, wasn't bad. It was about half full. I went to see Shazam at the same type of thing, and there were 5 people in there. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is about half full. And what I can tell you is.
I saw it today, so.
Oh, you saw it today. Okay. Well, we won't give any. We won't.
No, we don't spoil it.
But my feeling was that it was a really, really good movie. There was a lot of great action in it. If anything, there was a little bit when they were building up after the initial, and people have seen this, the initial thing with, the Batman scene and all of that. There's a lot of surprises, actually.
Definitely. That's what I felt.
Yeah. But after that, they kind of build up the whole idea of him going, back in time to save his mom. And so that to me, it was important, I think. But after all that wham jam in the beginning was like, okay, let's go back in time. Let's do it already. But that was the only part that I thought, dragged on maybe a bit more than it needed to. But after that, once he does that, it's just continuous, like action.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and surprise. And the thing I would say to people about it is it made me laugh out loud a bunch of times, but it made me tear up also a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's how I felt. There was definitely some good humor. There was a couple little twists that you didn't expect. Right. And it was emotional because, he's dealing with the death of his mom and, the whole family, and then the way they kind of tied it in with Batman and him losing his parents, and there was enough there. So it was a little pull at the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, and for the people that have read the comic or have seen the Flashpoint Paradox animated film, they do have the part there where there's the lightning strikes and trying to get the Barrys to be get their powers and that type of thing, a couple of different ways. I won't explain it all, but there's some parallels to both the comic book and to the animated movie. But they took a lot of the story and they just fit it into the DCEU kind of scenario. but I think they did it in a really good way. And I tell you, at the end, people clapped and cheered, and there were some parts of it where people actually gave like, oh, that type of
Right.
thing,
Right.
in the theater, which, it's a good sign when you see something like that. But I would tell people, I know there were some diehard Marvel fans that'll never go see a DC movie, but if you really felt that DC hadn't really done good movies, and I can understand that, this is a good movie. It
Yeah, I thought
definitely is a good movie.
Keaton played a really good he was good as Batman when he did it in the 80s, but
He
I
was
thought
great.
he was really good. And I thought Ezra Miller was he did a really good job. He was
I think if it wasn't for what had happened to him, and the fact that superhero movies are not always, put on the pedestal of other movies, I think he gave an Academy Award worthy performance. I mean, he was great. I don't know how else to put it. I
yeah,
mean, put everything else aside, and
right,
just looking
right.
at looking at him acting through this thing, because he was two characters,
Right.
and the
Yeah, and
characters were
that's what
very
I mean. I
different.
think all the off-screen stuff, whatever was going on, he gave such a great performance that they really couldn't. I don't think they wanted to scrap it because of the off-screen stuff, because he did such a good job, and I
He
think
did a
they
great
knew,
job. Yeah.
potentially could be, a really big movie, and
Yeah.
so
So
yeah,
yeah, so my DC Watch guys, the last one's going to see it tomorrow, so we might do a more in-depth type of review. But
okay.
from now that I think that it's a really good movie and should go see it. Just to go see
Yeah,
it.
I don't know much about the Flash as a character. I haven't watched any of like the CW show, or so I don't know much of, I know generally about the Flash, but for me, seeing Keaton again as Batman was my hook to go see it. But
That
like
was
I said,
great. Yeah,
I thought Ezra Miller did a really good job. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So be on the lookout. Hopefully, we'll be able to put something together. We don't put stuff out right away. You see all these reviews and everything like that. We like to watch it, talk about it, and then say, okay, let's do something about it, because we really kind of try to delve into it. Sometimes we go watch it again before we talk about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's a good
so
idea. Yeah, you
yeah,
don't
so
always have to be,
yeah,
first out of the gate. I saw it was been a bunch of people that have been doing, non-spoiler reviews of it. So
yeah. I've seen a few spoiler reviews now. I knew they were out, and they were all saying we're going to wait until it comes out before we do it. So I watched a bunch of them today to see what people had to say about it. And I'd say pretty much all, not just positive, but very positive about it. So I mean, so I just, if people here are listening and watching and thinking about, should I go see it? Shame on you. Well, you know what you can do? Watch the Flashpoint Paradox animated show. Do you have HBO?
I do,
If you have,
I do.
okay, so go on HBO Max, or right now it's called Max, and look under the DC banner. And now that
Okay,
you've seen the movie, watch that. I mean, those animated movies are really good, and this one is
yes, yes,
good.
yes, yeah.
And it's the one that people thought that they might pattern this after, at least some parts, a little bit more. But it's very different in many ways from the movie we just saw. They don't pick up a lot, but then you'll be able to say, "Oh, this is what Keaton was doing here. Oh, this is what this." You'll be able to see some parallels, but with
Okay,
different characters, I think.
okay.
So I think
Now
that
is
would be
this
kind of a nice exercise to do.
now is this part of the main continuity now of the new DCU?
There's a lot of talk about that. Now, I won't. What I would tell you is, how the movie ended, right? Not the post-credit scene, but how the movie ended.
Yes.
To me, that doesn't make any sense for continuity. So I think this is basically kind of a last hurrah. And James Gunn was interviewed recently, and what he said was basically that he sees the Blue Beetle as being the first real DCU
Oh,
movie,
okay. Okay.
and DCU character. I think he said movie or character, whatever. He didn't mention the new Aquaman movie coming out, and then he said, and of course, the real first live action movie is going to be the Superman legacy movie that he's putting together, which he's
Okay.
finished the script. They're going through doing trying to find the right people to play the parts and that type of thing. So it looks like the Blue Beetle with Jaime Reyes is going to be part of the new DCU. I based on what I've seen and what we understand here, it looks like there's the possibility, at least, that Jason Momoa would stay. But I think whether he stays as Aquaman or not will depend on how well this movie makes. That's coming up now. It's not getting good, preliminary. Yeah. People say, well, he might come back and play Lobo instead, and people are always making him up like as Lobo.
Oh, sure.
On
Yeah.
Instagram. And the other thing is, at least from what I understand, it looks like there's a good chance that Gal Gadot might stay as Wonder Woman, but she won't be playing Wonder Woman for a while, because they're going to have that Themyscira type of Game of Thrones series on HBO Max, which is like thousands of years before she's born.
Oh, okay.
But there's talk that she might stay, but you don't know. I mean, I think depending on how long it is, she may not even want to do it anymore. That type of thing.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because she's really good as Wonder Woman.
She's very good in a lot of different ways.
Yes, yeah. Well,
it might be time for me to do another 7 days of Gal on my Instagram.
Well, and didn't they announce? So the director of Flash is now directing one of the new DCU movies.
He's going to be. That's part of the thing. What people are saying is this part of the continuity. He's going to be doing the new Batman: Brave and the Bold. Okay. So that's why if you see the ending, and again, we're not going to give spoilers out here, but if you see the ending and he's now doing that movie, what does that mean?
Right.
I mean, it can't mean what we think it might mean because that's crazy.
Yeah. No, that was a twist at the end that I didn't see. Well,
there were a lot of things I didn't see coming.
Yeah, that was certainly a twist. Yeah.
I saw every video, every trailer, and I still was surprised a half dozen times.
Yeah. No, definitely. And like I said, there was some laugh out loud moments, some good jokes and emotional too. So yeah, no, it kind of hit on a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
What's this? NORAD 82. Gal Gadot was not perfect, in my opinion. Too skinny. Come on. All right. Well, I guess you can have your opinion. I can have mine. Understood.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah. So that's good. So the Jaime Reyes movie looks, at least from what I've seen, looks pretty good.
Yeah, that looks more. It kind of has a Shazam vibe, a little bit more comedy to it.
Yeah, because of the whole nature of you see him getting the thing, and
right.
I think it likes me, he says, and then he
attaches to his face. Yeah.
Well, I think I mean, people know that I think the Shazam movie, the second one that came out, I thought was a very good movie, but unfortunately, it didn't do well and all that. I think if you go watch it, it's a fun movie. It's funny. It's got a lot of action. Yeah, it's not a great movie, but it's unfortunate. But this Jaime Reyes movie might be a little bit better simply because of the nature of the thing. But people that follow me know that I'm a big Ted Kord fan. And now his wife is kind of the evil person, it seems, in this, because she wants to get the Scarab back for Kord Industries. So I don't know if I'd love to see a Ted Kord Blue Beetle. I mean, they show that one scene where you do have the different uniforms of the Blue Beetles, and the Ted Kord one is there as well. So hopefully they don't say, "Oh, he died" or something. Hopefully he makes an appearance. I think that I would love to see that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, and there was definitely too. And think about Flash when you mentioned that there were some appearances that I didn't expect. Right, some of the other things that they brought in, which I thought was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, it was. It was really, and it was kind of nice. And for some people, like for you, it was seeing Batman '89 and the whole thing like that, right? But for other people, some of the other things that you talk about, I mean, some of my friends that have seen it, they say, wow, they had this. Boy, that made it worthwhile.
Oh yeah.
Just from seeing some of the stuff that they came out with, it just kind of lifted the whole movie for them. Although the rest of it was very good, that made it for them.
Right.
And so
Yeah. And I think
it's
people are going to be surprised by that. Yeah, that was definitely a nice little twist. That
Andy Machete did a great job. You know, I don't know who wrote it. I think Andy Machete was part of the writing, I think, but I'm not sure. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
the
And
whole
there was a scene or two too. I noticed in the background. I think it was where the Flash, when he was going up to his apartment, there was a comic book shop across.
yes, Wiz. It was Wiz. It was the Wiz comic book shop. So I'm thinking to myself, Wiz Comics. Is that what they're talking about? Because I don't know. I mean, that could have been a throw to Captain Marvel or whatever, and the Wiz Comics thing, or it could have been something else. For all I know, there could be some character that somehow has some connection to the word Wiz that I don't know about.
Okay.
But that was a kind of a quick one. So you got to really, when he goes to his apartment, guys, you got to look really fast to see the comic book shop.
And you see neon light behind it with the comic book shop logo. Yeah. So
right, it's right across the street.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was kind of fun as well. Yeah.
Catch that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So good.
Yeah, no, it was well done. I definitely, it was enjoyable. It was a good. We'll see how it does. Box office wise. I mean, but I think I looked at Rotten Tomatoes this morning before I went, and it had very good audience score. So I know critics was decent, not as good, but not as high.
Right,
as
it was around 67 or 68. The critics, I think, which is
audience score was pretty high. I think close to like mid 80s.
Yeah, and I think that the thing is that a lot of people look at the critics score, unfortunately, and let that run it for them. I look at the audience score more because I feel.
Oh, sure, yeah.
My feeling is, I know the people I deal with say, well, but that affects it. I said, no, I know it affects it. But if I'm going to take a look at, first of all, if I think I want to go see a movie, I'll go see it. I don't care what people say, other than if the audience score is abysmal.
Yes, no, it's true. If others aren't really liking it,
then I say, no, maybe I'll wait, and for it to stream or something like that. And I'd like to go see movies in IMAX.
Sure. A big special effects movie like this, yeah.
I mean, I saw it in IMAX with the Dolby thing, and it was like, I mean, my seat is shaking. I mean, it's really it's really great. I mean, to me, I'm willing to spend that money. If I'm going to go, I don't go to the movies that often, but if I go, I'd rather spend that money and get like the best experience I can get.
Yeah. Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've done that where my wife and I will be like, well, what do we, if we want to watch a movie at home, and we'll go. I've done that where I've gone to Rotten Tomatoes and say, well, let me look at the highest rated, critic movies, and we'll watch some of these movies, and we're like, this was crap. Like, what are we watching?
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. Down in Florida, in the area where I am, there's a lot of older people, and they can't really go out to movies and stuff like that. So I run in the community center every Saturday night. I run a movie night.
Okay.
And so a lot of the people that come to that are like in their 80s and things like that. So I have to be careful what movie I pick.
Sure. Yeah.
So last year, for the last movie, I said, I'm sorry, for the next to last movie, I said, look, guys, I've been showing you people, some movies that were nominated for Oscar for the Oscars and stuff like that, like Top Gun and some of these others there. And people like the movies and all that. I also try to find some obscure movies that I think are good. And usually I hit a home run, sometimes not, but sometimes I hit a home run with them. But this time I told him, I said, well, there's this movie now that just won Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I said, do you guys, would you guys want me to get that movie, and whatever, because I mean, I think it was on, I forget which streaming service it was on, but I didn't have that streaming service. I would have to rent it or something. And so I said, and Never says, yeah, we want to see it, so I didn't dissuade them, but I watched it and I said, they're not going to like this movie.
Right.
I mean, I thought the movie was good, but I'm into like superheroes and that type of stuff.
Right.
And if you watch that movie, that it's got like multiverses and stuff, right? So, so I played the movie. 3 people got up and walked out. All right, including an Asian woman who didn't speak English that well, which surprised me. But many of the people stayed throughout. So I usually do something in the beginning where I explain something about them. I do kind of a Turner Classic Movie thing.
Okay.
They
Yeah,
kinda
give a
like
little
that.
intro to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end, sometimes I tell them watch for this, and at the end we have, and sometimes at the end they're talking for like 10,
Right.
15
Get a
minutes
little
about it,
discussion going. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's good.
So this time when it was over, I said, "Okay, so what did you think?" And they're all looking at me. I said, "Guys, you said you wanted to see this. I would not have played this movie for you." And they said, "We didn't like it, but we stayed because we wanted to respect you."
Oh, wow.
I said,
That's
"That's
funny.
okay. If you wanted, you could have stopped me halfway through." I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
"Let's forget about it." But that's the point. I mean, that had really good ratings both sides, but sometimes for an audience,
Yeah, it just doesn't hit.
not the
But
right
and that was a
movie.
movie that my wife and I streamed one night, and half hour in, my wife was like, "Nope, I'm not watching this. I'm done." Like, she's like, "What is this? What is going on?" She bailed. She was like, I ended up finishing it another time.
And it was a good movie. I mean, towards the end, it was like a lot of emotional stuff, and you can kind of see it was basically a mother and a daughter coming to
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
terms with each other, though it's done in a science fiction type of way,
Right.
I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know how to put it.
Well,
Yeah.
and like I didn't realize that until we stopped the movie, and then I went back to finish watching it. That the auditor was Jamie Lee Curtis. I had no idea.
Yes. You didn't know that?
I not going in when I was first watching it, and then when we stopped it and I went back and I looked up the cast, and I'm like, "That's Jamie Lee Curtis." Like it
I
didn't
know. She was
it didn't
good.
click.
She was
Yeah,
really good.
yeah.
She did a good job. How about when they had the big finger people?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
so
they did that right, didn't they? Do that during the Oscars, right? When they did the song from the movie.
funny. I didn't watch the Oscars. Yeah.
David Byrne came out and he had the big fingers.
Yeah, the big fingers. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So,
I mean, so sometimes you just have to be careful. I mean, there'll be people who don't like the Flash movie because it was not really Flashpoint, for example.
right.
They complain about that, which is kind of, in my view, I mean, you can have your opinion. That's fine. That's what makes the world go round. But in my view, that's not the reason to not like a movie.
Right.
I mean, if or oh, I don't like Michael Keaton. Batflick is my Batman. That type of thing. So I'm not going to give it a good.
Keaton did he played a really good, revised his role as Batman. Yeah, I thought
he was
well.
great.
Yeah,
he was great. We won't give it away, but how about his initial appearance as Bruce Wayne? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a twist too. I didn't expect either. Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know. So we're giving people a lot of reasons to go watch this movie.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's definitely worth a watch for sure.
Yeah,
it was good.
Anyway. All right, so we talked Batman. So, one thing somebody asked me about the community, the Comic Community Awards. They asked me because of me. All right, so I didn't want to. I told them, I said, "Don't worry about it, because I'm not promoting myself or anything like that." I said, if people want to vote for me, that's fine. I said, yeah, but he says you're over 1,000 now, so people might put you down for the 1,000.
Right. Yeah. So that happens with some channels, because when the way I look at it is, since the nomination period started before you hit 1,000, we'll include you in, or we'll include you under the 1,000. Although you may be, you certainly will be over 1,000 at the end of the nomination, right? So
yeah. So you're going to just move those votes down.
Yeah.
I'll tell my friend then, because he was concerned for me. I go, he says that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I have to, juggle the vote sometimes, or sometimes I've seen where people will nominate somebody in the wrong tier. Somebody who's clearly, somebody's at like 2,500 and they put them in the under 1,000.
I see.
So I'll just move that to the next tier.
This was a lawyer friend of mine, and he was willing to write a demand letter to you about it. I said, no, that's all right. I said, I'll just ask him at some point, and I'll tell you what the answer is. I said,
because Nauman had that a similar question where he was nominating a duo, or and one channel was at 500, and the other guest was at over 1,000. So I said, well, whoever channel hosts the show, that's the number you should go with.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
Like Gary B is a good example, right? He's over 1,000. But he has a lot of other co-hosts that come on that are under.
Right.
Digger Jim, for example, is not at 1,000 yet. So, but
but it's a Gary B show, so so that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll allay his fears then and say, don't worry about it.
Yes, no legal letters need to be sent.
I was sub one case.
Yes, yeah. Manny hit you this morning. That was
Well, that was good.
so.
All right, my friend. I think I'm going to bow out right now. Thanks for the
Okay.
conversation. I
Yeah, thanks
appreciated
for coming
it.
on. Appreciate you jumping in.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good to talk a little bit of Flash.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and it was good to talk a little bit of Comic Book Community Awards. And if people on here have not yet nominated somebody or other, go. You don't have this year. You don't have to do it for everybody. You don't have to fill them all in. You know, although it'd be great if you have enough knowledge to fill it all in.
Yes, yeah. The more you can fill in, the better. But we wanted to give that flexibility. Yeah.
Right. So go ahead there. If you have someone that you know, go ahead and do it. I mean, that's the way to really show some appreciation to a lot of people that put a lot of time in here to help entertain you all. So that's my public service announcement for the evening. All right. Take care, Brian.
All right, Joe. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye. Joe, Anachronic Comics. If you're not familiar with Joe, please, somebody could drop his link and go sub him up. But I know Tate Prime is here for one reason from a video that we were playing earlier. So I want to run that now.
Putang ina! Si Optimum Pride! Puking inang yan, Optimum Pride! Babe, si Optimum Pride do.
I did Empire. I am recorded a video for it, and I showed this off earlier. So this was one of the books that came in my mystery box from Empire Comics. So this is the 1 in 50 Greg Land ASM. So pretty cool that I pulled that. And Empire, let us know too, because we were talking about it on our earlier stream. I know Trev's got his 22 comics. They're going to be doing videos for the mystery boxes. And I guess if are you doing it monthly? I think that's the way I understand it, right? Each month you're going to be rolling out a new box. So definitely want to. I'm definitely going to be buying another one. And I pulled the Power Ranger cards, the Indiana Jones cards. So, and let's see. I'm doing my monthly membership giveaway is, so I've ended up buying 4 mystery boxes, but I'm giving 2 away. I opened 2 and I'm giving 2 away for membership. So, yeah. So, Tate, you're welcome. You're welcome. So let's see. All right. Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Has anybody claimed? That's another question I have, because maybe the golden ticket's sitting in one of the boxes I'm giving away. Has anybody? Do we know if anybody's won the golden ticket and the 9/8 slab? So yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it. Definitely will be purchasing a new. I love all the stickers you included too, Empire stickers, and got the little business card. Yeah, definitely, it was a great mystery box, and for the price, you couldn't beat it. A lot of great books that I pulled. I'm probably going to release the video sometime this week, so definitely well worth it. So. Okay. All right, good. So it's out there somewhere. The golden ticket is out in the wild somewhere. And it's a 9/8 CGC slab of The Thing, right? The Thing #1? I think that's what it is. So, yeah. Like I said, maybe it's in one of the giveaway boxes that I'm doing. So that'll be cool if somebody won it from a membership. So. But yeah, if anybody wants to jump on, I posted the link. I'll drop. It's pinned up top. If anybody wants to come hang, definitely. I figured, like I said, I know most of the regular Friday night streams are down at Heroes Con, so I figured it was a good chance to jump in. So, okay, yeah, it's definitely a great cover. So. Yeah, Fanboy. Yeah, if you hit Empire up on Instagram, he's posted a few things, and yeah, he's doing a kind of a monthly mystery box, but it's definitely well worth it. So, um, like I said, I pulled some great books. That was one of the bigger books that I pulled, but just some great value in the books that I pulled for sure. So definitely worth it. But yeah, I actually was looking at this book on one of the sites, thinking about picking it up, and then pulled it in the mystery box. So excited to have that. That's I think ASM 25, right? Yeah, from the current run. So yeah, or an Empire. Yeah, he mentions it in some of his videos too. So the link is down in the description. So you're not being blocked by the work firewall now.
Not this time. Not this time. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, right. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see that early in the day. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me sign on, and then you had that open link. I'm like, damn. Anybody around?
Yeah, I happened to be off today, and like I said, I knew usually Legion of Comics does his Friday morning hangout stream, but he's down at HeroesCon, so I was like, oh, I might as well jump on and see if anybody wants to come in and join. So
yeah, I saw their pictures on Instagram. Man, looks like they're having a good time.
Yeah,
guys down there.
Yeah, couple comics. He won a CGC slab today. He, I guess, if you went to the CGC booth, you could put your name in a raffle or pull a pin or something, and if you got a 10-0 pin, you won a slab. So he won a nice slab there while he was there, and
pretty cool.
Yeah, so it looks like guys are having a good time.
I want to know if Chris the Comic Vet really got that AF-15, or he was just holding it for a big.
I don't think he bought it. I think it was Justin Birch.
Okay.
Bought it. Justin's been selling some of his. He's got a bunch of statues, hot toys that he was selling off to try to fund the AF-15 and I think ASM 1. So I think that's his, Justin's. So
yeah,
pretty cool, big book.
Even at a 1.0, it's still a big book.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, we were talking about that earlier. Like, I don't know if I bought one at the con, I think I would like want to go home. Like, where do you keep that book?
Yeah,
over the weekend. You don't leave it in a hotel room, right? So
yeah. If you got it at a con, he must have really got a good deal on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, unless I don't know if he purchased it. I didn't hear the backstory. I don't know if he bought it there, at HeroesCon, or did he acquire it somewhere else and just brought it with him? I'm not sure.
Oh, look what's in my backpack. An AF-15.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it is Justin Birch. Yeah, he let Chris hold it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so all those guys usually, well, I guess, Legion. Digger Jim is there.
Yeah, collecting with Derrz, Rock Fat Stacks, Austin LeMay, Digger Jim, Brother John, Comic Journey's there. Trying to think who else. Tylex the Mighty, Ben Parker Comics. There's a lot of people there. I think tonight they were doing I think Rob Fat Stacks coordinated like a meet and greet, or they rented like a room at a bar or restaurant, and everybody was getting together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
that's going to be your party pretty soon, man.
Yeah.
Your main con.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Next year, I'll definitely be there. So
yeah, that's awesome. So what made you make that decision? You got family down that way?
Yeah, my wife's family, my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, she met her husband in college, and he was from South Carolina. And so she moved there, and she's been in South Carolina for 30 years. And my in-laws live in California, but they moved 2 years ago cross country to South Carolina. So my wife's been away from her mom and dad family for like 25 years. So we just decided that it was time for us to, our parents are getting older, and it was time for us to move. So
And what about like job wise and everything? You able to like transfer? Or?
Yeah, I'm. She's able to transfer with her job. My job, I might be able to work, remotely, or per diem, short term, and then if it doesn't work out, we're negotiating a new contract right now. So hopefully, I'll be able to do remote. If not, I'll do per diem for a little bit until I can find something else. Something else down there. So
That's cool.
yeah.
What area are you looking in?
We're going to be in like the Lexington, Columbia area. It's
Okay.
kind of
Out
mid
west.
state. It's Columbia is the capital,
Mhm.
so
You-
close to the family.
Usually, you got to fly into like Alabama, right, to get the.
You can fly into North Carolina, Columbia. To Charlotte, and it's about an hour and a half drive from there.
Okay.
And there's a little airport in Columbia, small airport, but they have flights that go both from like Orlando to Columbia and Columbia to JFK, not JFK, LaGuardia. My wife was down and flew from Columbia, and it's like a very small, small airport
Yeah,
to LaGuardia.
that's
So
pretty cool.
yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I noticed some of those nice Spider-Man keys you picked up recently, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got them. I was glad that I picked up, this one I did with the recent,
Yeah.
with John Ramirez. So yeah,
I think I saw a couple others that you posted too. Didn't you have like a Spider-Man 100 or something?
yeah. I've got. Let's see. I picked up. That's what I picked up. 252. Drop them. 252.
Very nice.
I picked up Black Cat.
Oh yeah, that one's a sweet one, man. I can't see the grade. What grade was that on the Black Cat?
9.0.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, that was a nice one to have. I was thinking about picking up 129.
I have that team up. I don't have it slabbed yet though.
Yeah, this is nice. This is just a great cover. I actually had this. I bought this off the rack and ended up selling it. So I had 252 was a book that I purchased, off 7-Eleven or comic book store, but I had sold them, and so now I'm going back and getting those ones. So
I can't revert my camera, but see if I could. Is it in there?
Oh yeah. 252.
My Secret Wars.
Yeah, 8. Yep.
I don't know. Oh yeah, I got Carnage. Andrew Garfield signed that one.
Nice.
I think those are my only main Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have to. 300's on the list. 300's probably the next book. I had a 300 which I sold raw. So that's a book I want to get back.
Yeah, that book's not coming back down, man. That book is like steady where it is. I mean, it's like $100 per grade. You know what I mean? That's kind of how that book goes, raw. So
yeah, I'm glad I got all the Miles stuff out of the way. I have all of the current Miles, all of his previous series. So got that relatively inexpensive before things go crazy with him.
Which Ultimate Fallout do you have? Do you have the first print?
I don't. That's the only one I don't have. I don't have the first print. I have the second print where he's pulling up his mask.
The white cover.
Yes. Yeah.
I got the second print. Where the heck is
And
that?
I have a second print of the A cover.
That's signed by Hickman.
Oh, nice.
It's a 9.8 too, so that was exciting to get that sucker back.
Yeah, that's a good grade. Yeah, nice grade to have in that book. Yeah,
even a second print, it's still pretty valuable.
Oh yeah.
The only thing stinks when you're a guest, you can't see the chat, or at least I can't.
Oh yeah. It doesn't. Why is it not coming up?
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah. Well, are you on your phone too? Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
So if everybody's out there, tell them I said hello. And I made a mistake. I stuck my real name in here instead of my YouTube name, so nobody knows who I am. I'm Comic Cat, by the way.
Yeah, it came up. Where'd the names go? There they are. Yeah, for some reason the names disappeared on me. So did you buy tickets for New York Comic Con?
Yeah, I did. I got just this Saturday. I'm going to go to this Saturday this year.
Okay.
I got 2 alleged friends that allegedly bought tickets and are going to meet me there, but we'll see.
Okay. I know a couple of the other local guys, Couple Comics. Joe, who was just on before, Anachronic Comics. He's talking about going. There'll be some others. I think Comic Journey's going to go.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
Did you see the guest list? It's got pretty epic so far.
No, I didn't. Well, I've seen some of the emails that they've sent.
You got Chris Evans. You got
Chris Evans, right? You got
the lady that plays Mantis. She's going to be there. Nebula is going to be there. Karen Gillian.
Wasn't one of the Star Wars guys too was going to be there, right?
Well, Ewan McGregor's definitely going to be there.
Okay, Ewan McGregor, right? Okay.
I think the lady that plays Bo-Katan, Bo-Katan from Mandalorian, I think she's going to be there also.
Okay.
So pretty cool list so far. I
mean, they usually always have the big names come to that show.
Do you know what they normally the celebrities usually charge for signatures at those?
I think it varies. I think they post it usually on. They'll, as it gets closer to the event, they'll have the price on their website.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's been a while since I've been to New York. So
yeah, that I went last year was the first time I've been back in 5 or 6 years, and it was funny. I went. A friend of mine when I was like I don't know, it was probably 13 or 12 or 13. I went with a friend and his mom. He was going to visit his mom, whose mom lived in New York, in the city. Her boyfriend at the time was vending at a New York Comic Con, and so we went. And because he was a vendor, we basically could, we got in early and could run the floor. And it was I remember that. So this was like mid '80s, and it was much more of a comic book show back then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's more of a pop culture now, but it was, more comics back in the 80s. So, but still always a good time. Plenty to see, plenty to do.
Yeah, and they're doing that one in New Jersey again, that Bell Works one in end of October. It's only a 1 day. That was really cool. I went to that last year.
And so, were we talking about it earlier? The Garden State.
It's like Homedale, New Jersey, right off the 117 off the Garden State Parkway.
Okay. You've got Terrific Con in July in Connecticut. There's
Contropolis in the Meadowlands coming up too.
Oh, really? I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, I know CBCS is going to be there. I don't think CGC. Lou Ferrigno's a guest. There's a lot of people at that one too. I think that comes up. I think that's in July, actually.
Okay. Well, yeah, that one I hadn't heard. And there's another one on Long Island at Hofstra University in Nassau County, Eternal Con. That's early July. It's like a two-day con. So
that's cool.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like there's a lot of the smaller shows, like hotel shows, that are kind of popping up. Seem like they're coming back now.
Yeah, I went to that King Kong one, which was a hotel show. That's where I saw Very Gary at. It was okay. That one, I didn't love it, but the Super Jersey Comic Expo, man, that one was, there was a lot of artists there. Bob Sharon signed my Secret Wars 8.
Oh, nice.
No, I'm sorry, John Beatty. Bob Sharon signed my first Rocket Raccoon there, so that was cool.
Okay.
But I'm gonna drop off, man. Unfortunately, I got work again tomorrow. But
all right.
Always fun to
Thanks
jump
for starting a day and ending your day with us.
Yeah, it's cool, man. All right, Brian. Have a good night, man.
All right, yeah. You too, Rich. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. We've got any other takers want to come in and hang with us, but I haven't. I showed this on Instagram, but we do have a promo video, and I'm actually going to be doing another version of this to include some different community members within the video. But let's run the promo for the CBC Awards.
In a community where grown men and women make videos of their favorite comic books and collectibles, where men quit their jobs and follow their passions, sell all of their possessions to travel the country in a bus, seeking out comic books, take their shirts off and dance for your entertainment, I present to you the celebration of this community with the 2023 Comic Book Community Awards. The Comic Book Community Awards recognize the great community of creators from YouTube who regularly produce entertaining, thought-provoking, and slab-worthy comic book-related content. The goal of the yearly Comic Book Community Awards is to have fun and to recognize the entertaining, informational, and creative nature of our community members. The 2023 Comic Book Community Award nominations are currently open. Visit cbcawards.org to nominate your favorite YouTube channels and creators and make sure your voice is heard.
Nerdy Weds, good night. Yes, Manny, that was. I'm trying to do my, my voiceover, my trailer voiceover voice. Yeah, I don't know. We might wrap it up early tonight if nobody else is going to jump on with me. But yeah, definitely going to be putting together another trailer with, like I said, some different community members, so we can highlight some of the other community members. It was trying to include everybody, but sometimes hard to do in a minute and 30 seconds. But
Putang ina! Si Optimum Pride! Puking inang yan, Optimum Pride! Babe, si Optimum Pride do.
We have to thank Eman, World of Geek, for that clip. He tipped us off to that this morning, so now it's stuck in everybody's brains. So, but yeah, let me know if anybody else wants to jump on. Have I got anything else I want to? Showed this on Instagram. Trev, the shipping guru, thank you so much for this. Sent me this print signed by John Romita and John Romita Jr. Really cool. Got a video showing off the AOK that Trev sent me, but wanted to highlight that. And Trev, too, I showed you this earlier. Picked up Dr. Aphra #1 of the current volume. Book I didn't have. I know Aphra's your girl. So, but yeah. So Dr. Von Hoot, what time is it for you? It's we were hanging out with Mad Spidey this morning when it was 1 a.m. for him. So, but yeah, so we're gonna do tomorrow morning. I'm doing a weekend of streaming tomorrow morning. We've got the Breakfast with Brian show. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern. So, and then actually tomorrow night, we're going to do another live hangout. So if anybody wants to come and hang, please do. 2:15. Do you ever sleep? You're always up. So, I think if nobody else is going to jump in with me, we'll probably wrap it up and, probably go watch some other streams. I know the low grades usually go on tonight at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. Low grade. So I usually pop over there, check out those guys for a little while. All right, good. Yeah. We're definitely going to stream again tomorrow night, probably around 8 o'clock, because I'm pretty sure Remy's place will not be happening since Remy is Heroes Con with the rest of the gang. Yeah, Small Town Collectibles is there. I mean, it's a who's who of the comic book community down at the at Heroes Con. So, but yeah, let's see. Anything else I want to? Well, we'll give you Optimus Prime one more. We'll give you Optimus Prime one more time.
Putang ina! Si Optimum Prime! Puking inang yan, Optimum Prime. Babe, si Optimum Pride do.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you guys hanging with me this morning and this evening, and we'll see you tomorrow for breakfast with Brian. Let's see. What are we going to leave you with? We'll leave you with. Let's see. Where's my clip?
Time to wake up. Gotta get out of bed.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for Deadpool 2. Well, we don't have that kind of money. We expecting Sam Jackson show up with an eye patch and a saucy little leather number? Go.